I've been thinking about something that New York Times national security correspondent David Sanger said about China's leader, Xi Jinping, on this show recently.
Xi has made it clear he plans to go solve the Taiwan problem while he is still in office.
So if you're Xi, how do you solve a problem like Taiwan? And has Xi's solution changed as he's watched Russia get bogged down in over 2 years of bloody and expensive military war in Ukraine? First, I should be clear about one thing. Even before Putin launched his special military operation, as he called it, in Ukraine, the chances of China invading Taiwan in the near term were close to zero. An all-out invasion of Taiwan would be a massive risk for China economically, militarily, and politically. Part of the reason, geography. Taiwan sits on the so-called first island chain, which includes US-friendly nations like the Philippines and Japan. The bigger reason is technology. A big piece of the world's electronics, including phones, electric cars, rely on computer chips produced in Taiwan. Remarkably, one Taiwanese company, Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing company, TSMC, controls more than half of the global market. And while China is doing its best to ramp up domestic production of these chips, Beijing remains deeply dependent on TSMC for its own technology infrastructure. So not only would a Chinese invasion destroy TSMC at a time when it produces over half the world's chips, not to mention about 80 to 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors, but the international reaction would be at least as severe as what Putin has faced. There would, however, be one big difference. Russia is a gas station, kind of big one. China's not. Moscow has managed to prop up a deeply sanctioned economy by exporting its own oil and natural gas supplies, mostly to former Soviet states and countries like Turkey, India, and, well, China. China, on the other hand, needs stability in the global markets. Their global economy is deeply dependent on access to other countries around the world. At a time when a bursting real estate bubble has kneecapped China's own economy, Beijing literally cannot afford to invade Taiwan. Now, make no mistake, I still think Sanger is right to say that Xi won't leave office without trying to, and I quote, solve Taiwan. But I think his strategy is going to be far more subtle and incremental than a military invasion. Taiwan's economy remains vastly more dependent on China than any other country, certainly including the US. Xi can use that. He'll squeeze Taiwan economically. He'll continue to force Taiwanese business leaders to integrate into the Chinese Communist Party as a price of entry into its markets. Xi can apply plenty of economic and political pressure on Taiwan without sending a single Chinese troop to the island. The final variable, of course, is time. Xi Jinping is 71 years old, a spring chicken by American political standards, no doubt. But he's probably looking at no more than another decade or so in power. So even an incremental solution to his Taiwan problem does need to happen in a matter of years, not decades. In the meantime, Taiwanese citizens and their Western allies will continue to hope for the best and prepare for the worst.